it's really important to understand what a fraction actually is, just a basic fraction. So a fraction is a part of 1, and over here we've got 1 whole, and I'm going to cut it into 2 equal slices. So these guys are halves, and at the moment I have no halves showing, but if I click on 1/2 of the pizza, that's what that looks like there. So fraction is a number that represents part of a whole. Okay, so it's the numbers, when they look like this, that are part of the way towards 1. We can look at the same fraction here. We'll make fractions in a minute, but let's have another look at our basic fraction. If we decide instead to have 4 slices, then these parts here are called quarters. So quarters are smaller than halves, and we'll just show 1/4. Okay. If we decide instead to cut our 1 whole up differently, instead of 4 pieces, we're going to cut into 5 equal pieces. Okay. These guys here are smaller, 1/5 are smaller than quarters. Alright, there's a quarter there, it's pretty big, it's quarter of the pizza, because the pizza is cut up into 4 bits. So quarters is the same as fourths, 1/4. 1/5 there is smaller, and if we make 6 equal slices in our pizza, then this size here that we've highlighted is a 1/6. So as the numbers on the bottom get bigger, the size of the piece gets smaller. Let's see how far we can push this. A 17th, 1/20th or 1/27th means that you've got 27 equal size pieces and you are just eating 1. Now you can change the size of the fraction. You can have 2 27ths, 3 27ths, and so on. Just like, let's make these fraction denominator, or this bottom part, smaller. So if we make the denominator smaller, the pieces get bigger. So let's go back to 3/4, to quarters. That was 1/4. That much of 1 is 2/4. You'll notice it looks like a half as well. A lot of people know that already. And if we highlight 3/4 or 3 out of 4 of the pizza, this is called 3/4 of 1, then this is how much we get, 3/4. So it's 3/4 of the way to 1. It's not 1 yet. If we change the number of cuts to 8, we can still show 3/4 of the pizza, but it looks like 6/8 this time. So 6/8 is a different fraction. So if we're a little bit more hungry than this and we want to eat half of the next quarter, then it's better to measure it in 8ths, because we can have 7/8. Otherwise, if we're just stuck with quarters, you don't have the in-between amounts, but the more pieces you have in the bottom, you can just have that little extra wee bit of an amount, and you can measure it very finely. What do I mean by finely? Well, you can just click a few little segments to make part of the whole. So this is 3/9 of 1 whole. Each of these size pieces, that one there, is 1/9. Okay. So the number on top is called the numerator, and the number on the bottom of the fraction is called the denominator. So the denominator is just how many bits 1 is equally shared between or cut up into, and the top part is how many of those 9ths are we highlighting. In this case, 1/9, 2/9, 3/9. So we can count fractions up like that. Next one, 4/9, 5/9, 6/9. So I'm counting up in 9ths now. Let's have a look at this guy here. Click on the number line to make 2/4. So I've got my 1 whole here with 4 equal quarters. From 0 to 1/4 is there, to 2/4, to 3/4, to 4/4 or 1. To make 2/4, I want 1/4 and another quarter, 2/4. Let's change this now. I've got 5ths. Notice the pieces are smaller. Quarters or fourths. Thirds, halves. So there's only one division in half. There's halfway there, and then there's another half, so that's 1 divided to 2 parts. They want 2/3, so I need my number line divided into 3/3, and I want 2 of them. So that part into the number line, or that far in, is 2/3. They want 2/4 now, so I change it to quarters and I highlight 2. So that's how big 2/4 is relative to 1 whole. Okay, so the scale here just shows 1 whole. 2/5, I need 5th size pieces, 1 and 2. 3/4, I would need to go down to quarter slices, and I show 3 of them. Okay, just show you another representation of fractions now. This one here is a harmony stick. So let's have a look what happens when we hit 1 and play it. And 2 pieces, so 2 pieces are half. I'm now going to hit quarters. Remember, quarters are smaller than halves because 4 is bigger than 2. Let's go for eighths. And 16ths. Okay, so they're smaller because 16 is bigger. So to get there, they've got to go twice as fast. Notice that the 4ths, 8ths and 16ths get to certain points at the same time, so they get caught away. The 8ths gets caught away after 2 8ths, and the 16ths gets same as quarter this position here after 4 16ths. So they actually line up. Okay, 4, 8 and 16. That's because 8 is a multiple of 4 and 16 is also a multiple of 4 and a multiple of 8. So they are like little families. Let's just get rid of those. So this also, if you're musical and you have timing and beats like 4/4, you'll understand this. And drum beats is exactly the same way. You can think of it as fractions. Or the waltz. So let's look at 5ths now. Get rid of the 4ths. 5ths. And play. And 10ths related, okay? Because 10ths, there's 2 of them for every 1/5. There's 2 10ths as a 5th. So it's a twice beat. 10 is 2 times the beat of 5. Now I'm going to mix them up. Let's go for thirds beat. So we've got 3 hits to get to 1. Same count as 1. Let's put my quarters in. It gets there at the same time, but it's a little bit quicker. Do my 5ths. Notice they synchronize after 1 round. 18 to 6, 3 to 1. 3 18s is 1 6. 18 to 3, 6 18ths till you get to 1/3. Three ninths is the same as 1/3, gets to thirds at the same time, gets to there at the same time, gets to the end at the same time.